aged maple wine. What more is there to say? How is this? So let's see, we bottled this on 9/29/21, which is a year ago today, and it won't open. It's gonna explode on me. This will be some good television for you guys.
It shouldn't explode.
No, it didn't explode.
Yeah, this isn't carbonated. The reason why
Really
I chose these vessels is because at the time of bottling, we didn't have enough of the screw tops,
So this is exactly 1 year to the date. It is 11.3%. As I recall, it wasn't half bad when it was young. That's all I remember. Leave it open, let it breathe. Sounds good, right? Look at that color.
It's a really pretty color. It's that really rich.
That rich amber, goldeny amber.
Yeah, it's like
gorgeous.
Fall in a glass.
Ooh, it smells so good. Definitely smell a little bit of ethanol in there, but it's not like bad, like strong. Definitely get like a caramely, mapley. It smells like bacon in a glass, really. It kind of does.
It actually reminds me of fall festivals when some of the vendors would be making candied apples and you get that smell. That's what that smell reminds me of.
Yeah. But yeah, clarity, this is like a 9.5.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like almost
crystal
perfect
clear.
clarity.
Yeah.
On the aroma, it's actually really interesting. Very strong aroma.
Mm-hmm.
It's not overpowering or anything, but strong aroma. Wow. Surprisingly smooth and balanced. Mm-hmm. It's not sweet. I believe this one ended up a little sweet. This was before we were marking
The final
gravities.
Yeah. It has a really nice mouthfeel. It's not watery at all. It has a good viscosity to it, but it's not overly cloying and viscous. It's just nice.
It has a really, like, coming in, it's got a good sweetness, but not overly sweet. Nice maple flavor, caramely type flavors. Then, as it reaches the middle of your palate, that's when a little bit of like the tannins start to come back. A little, I don't want to say bitterness, but a little bit of astringency comes in and keeps it interesting rather than just being overly sweet. Then the finish is actually rather long. Like, you can taste it a little bit on the exhale a few seconds later still. Really interesting. I'm impressed. I didn't think this was going to be that good. I mean, I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was going to be great.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's reminiscent to me flavor-wise compared to our other things of like the Bouchers.
Yeah.
Even the coffee mill. I'm getting slight
The Acerglyn too.
coffee adjacent things. Yeah,
This is just nice.
it's nice.
It was pretty simple. Now, something to keep in mind too, people have asked, how much maple syrup should I put in instead of using honey? Well, there's really no way to say for sure because every maple syrup is a little bit different.
Well, we didn't use honey in this because this was a wine.
Right, but people ask, if I'm substituting maple syrup for honey or for sugar, how much do I use?
Oh, okay.
And there's no straight answer for that. You really have to check it because every maple syrup is a little bit different. With honey, it's generally, I think, 18 to 20% water left in it, whereas maple syrup, I don't know what the regulation is, and I think it varies state to state and country to country.
Right. I think it's more of a regional variance too, because I think the concentrations of the sugars and the sap itself vary.
Well, they still have to cook that down.
Well, sure, but I think, I don't know. I'm from Florida.
Yeah.
We don't tap trees down
Plus,
here.
there's different grades of maple syrup that are different concentrations. So depending on what you use, you're going to get a different product. And this one, as I recall, was a little bit smoky, which means it might have actually been boiled down over a wood burning fire in some way, which they do that to add some flavors. If they did that, then that's going to have a different flavor too. So every maple syrup is going to taste a little bit different.
And that triggered something in my head when Brian said that, of one of the flavor notes that I'm getting from this that I couldn't quite place. And that flavor note is bacon.
Yeah, I said bacon right away.
Bacon!
Definitely get a bacon note from this. Not the saltiness,
but it's like the smoky, cooked,
smoky sweet.
Yeah.
I think I like this better than the Acerglyn. Yeah, I think this is a little bit nicer than the Acerglyn. They're comparable.
Now, I remember we did a comparative taste test with the wine and the Acerglyn back when we originally made them, because we did make them some clothes.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to do that
I think
Again.
that sounds like a good idea. But before we do that, how about we put a score on this?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Let's give this a score so that our score isn't influenced by participation in a comparison. You know, I have to retract the statement that I just made, that I like this better than the Acer Glen. I don't know that I do. The more I'm tasting it, I'm getting an odd, like a lemon note in there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of discordant.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it at first, but the more I'm drinking it, the more I'm getting it.
Yeah, I bounce around in my head with my score because I'm attempting to intellectualize alcohol. Homebrewed alcohol. Which
Hey,
there's
you
nothing,
totally intellectualize
nothing
alcohol.
wrong with that. And that's kind of what we do here. But it's really bizarre because you're like, oh, this sensation is pleasant, so it would be a higher number, and this sensation is not as. But what is the overall? What is the cumulative experience?
There's also this too. As you take more sips of something, you become used to certain flavors,
Right.
and they go down. And for me now, the smokiness is going down, the maple flavor is going down, and I'm getting that bitterness, and it's coming through as like a lemon.
Yeah.
To me, lemon and maple syrup don't taste well together.
No.
So it's starting to like lose its favor. And some people have commented before that we liked to brew in the beginning and we didn't like it at the end. And there was other times that we liked it or we didn't like it in the beginning and we liked it by the time we put a score on it. And that's because it changes as you drink.
It does. And if you are familiar, particularly with, I would say, anything in the whiskey line, so whether it be scotch or bourbon or whatever,
Yeah.
and you sip
yeah,
it,
stuff
you
I'm
enjoy it, you just don't do a shot because that's wrong.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever, you do you, and it's fine.
Fireballs for shots.
Oh, yeah. But if you sip and enjoy a whiskey, you'll notice that it travels with you and it takes you different places, and it's not the same each time. And that's what we're getting from this. And
Unfortunately, my score is dropping as I keep drinking it.
that is a shame.
Yeah. This started out so good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. It's just compared to what my first reaction to it was, as I'm drinking more, because I've now had 2 reasonably sized samples of this, it's going down. I mean, it's not in the disgusting zone or anything like that, but I'm losing a little bit of favor for it. I'm sorry. Are you ready with a score? Let me talk about our scoring system. It goes 1 through 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. 10 means this is probably the best thing you got in your stores. We did give 11s to a few things because it just meant they were that much better than the other things that we said were the best we had. 1 means probably crap. You're going to dump that out. You're not going to drink that. You're probably not going to ever tell anybody you made it. We would show it because we want you to learn from our bad experiences.
Learn from our mistakes.
Yeah. 5 is kind of the breaking point for me. If it's a 5 or better, it means it's probably something I would drink willingly. Below a 5, I would have to determine how desperate I was for a drink that day. So that gives you an idea. So with that said, I think I need another verification sip. Would you like another sip?
No.
She's fairly certain.
All right, so our scores, as Brian said, let's get to them, shall we?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3.
7.
6.5. Yeah, I started out at an 8.5, and the more I drank of it, the more it dropped. I was a 6, and then my last sip was actually okay. So,
I like it, but I don't like it. And so that's why it's that medium range of good. 7 is like the medium range of good. It's good. It's not
I'm
wonderfully
not
good.
overly
It's
excited
not-
about it anymore.
It's not less than good. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was okay. There's nothing wrong with it per se. I think we did actually add lemon to this in some way, which in hindsight probably isn't the best thing. It probably needed the acidity, but I think the lemon flavors came through too much, and that's kind of bothering me.
I think in this particular situation, if we would have added
Wood.
wood, or if we were looking for an acidic note, I would have gone with orange rather than lemon.
Orange would have been better, yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
because I think orange and maple, to me, in my head, sounds
They
like a
can,
good
kind
pairing.
of go together, yes.
So much that you know what I'm thinking about grabbing, but you know, that's later. So I gotta go find the Acerglyn now. So 1 moment.
All right, so we're gonna each have a little bit of Acerglyn, and we're each gonna have a little bit of maple wine, and we're gonna do the compare and contrast thing. Now, if I recall correctly, I gave the Acerglyn an 8. I gave the maple wine a 6.5. And I think Derica gave the Acerglyn a 6.5.
Yeah, I think so.
And
A 7 for
7 for
maple.
this. So she's very, very close on both of hers. Okay, this is maple wine. This is Acer Glen.
So it was funny. In the bottle, I thought this one was darker because I knew this was a dark bottle. But in the glass,
Yeah, they're about the same.
it's lighter.
The Acer Glen has been chilled because this bottle was opened. This is the one that we tasted.
Yeah,
so
this is the taster
we're
one.
going to have some fogging.
And there's going to be some difference in flavor profiles.
The Acer Glen's ever so slightly lighter.
Because it's chilled versus room temp. But, you know, this is just
we do what we do.
This is a bonus thing. This is just for fun.
The maple wine, I think, is more full-bodied. It has more body, more mouthfeel. The Acer Glen's definitely a little waterier, but flavor-wise, the Acer Glen's got a better flavor. And I think the Acer Glen's actually less sweet than the maple wine. But the flavor is better. On the aroma, they're very, very similar. I just get a hint of honey off the Acer Glen. Otherwise, they're very, very similar.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, the Acer Glen is ever so slightly waterier. It doesn't have that citrus thing going on. Are you planning on getting out the other thing and adding it? You did on the Acer Glen. I don't know that it I didn't like it.
Well, I do, and in fact, this is less than it was before because I've been drinking this with the Derica additive that will not be named.
Cointreau. So I just mixed them together. No, I mean it improved the maple wine, but now it added a little bit of that lemony taste to the Acer Glen. Now, you got to understand something. I'm very sensitive to lemon, especially.
Yep.
Lemon and grapefruit, those two things.
He did not really want lemon or lime or any of that in his drinks and his cooking and anything. And it took a lot of convincing and prodding and encouragement from me for him to open up to the lemon lime spectrum and to bring that into some of his.
Which glass would you like it all in?
Oh, it's all going to go in here.
All right.
But I was like, oh, you know, I gave that a lesser number than I gave this one. Am I going to regret that decision? And I don't, because I actually really appreciate the stronger mouthfeel that the maple lime has.
That is nice.
Than the Acer Glen. And I think I'm more of a tactile, visceral type person that really appreciates that stuff.
Flavor.
And so I'll let some of the flavor slide because the lemon doesn't bother me as much as it does. But I really appreciate that mouthfeel. So let's see what the combined efforts here taste like.
Not my thing. I just don't like it.
I actually really appreciate the combination of all things. And it's making me wonder now, is having one chilled and one room temp creating even more of a separate
I think it is. There's also the other thing that goes into this too. And I've seen this with myself with certain whiskeys, even a whiskey that I really, really like. There will be some days that it just doesn't taste good. I just don't like it.
Yep.
And I could be experiencing one of those days today where this just is not tasting great to me. Like when I tasted the Acer Glen, I was like, I gave this an 8. It's just not working for me today.
That's
and that can happen. And I'm not having a bad day or anything like that. Just that's the way it goes. What you ate beforehand, anything can be a factor.
That said, I believe that both of these beverages definitely have a strong maple component.
Oh, absolutely.
And so if you really enjoy the flavor of maple and the complexity that maple brings to the game, then make either one of these. If you want to do a mead style, then do the Acer Glen. If you want to do just a pure wine style, then do the maple wine. Either way, I don't think it'll go wrong for you as long as you enjoy that maple flavor.
Right. Hey guys, as always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.
Bye-bye.